Welcome back, everybody. This is the return of Torpid. Going to be trying to do something a little bit regular from now on. Early morning every Friday, we're going to have a weekly release. I'm not promising Dawn of War 2, though Dawn of War 2 will always be the focus. This is my baby after all, you know, I'm the best player. I can't leave this game. But we're not going to promise Dawn of War 2 all the time. We're going to have a little bit of Let's Play content, a little bit of live stream rips, coverage of any events that might take place in the Warhammer world in games that I'm playing, a little bit of Battlefleet Gothic Armada, and a bunch of Dawn of War 2. That's the plan from now on anyway. Right now, we've got a game. We've got a 1v1 on Greentooth Gorge between the Money Boy, aka the Booganator, aka the Prodigy, Division B, Prodigy, and we've got Oceans, who needs no description. So we've got a Warlock versus Tech Marine. Obviously this matchup, it's quite an interesting matchup. I think the grenades that the scouts get can be very influential in changing it, but I think also that the garrisons are going to definitely favour the Tech Marine. So as much as Space Marines can find Eldar very annoying to fight, this is very annoying for the Eldar. Instantly bleeding two of Ocean's models here. This is quite interesting in terms of build orders. Very standard for Boogy. However, Oceans has completely avoided getting Banshees. He's only dropped 2 gens now. They're not already even built yet. You see, if I was going to do a fast tech with 2 units, I'd typically get Dire Avengers and Banshees. And I wouldn't try and fight. I'd really try and rat as hard as I can. But I drop 3 generators instantly and get a node on the other power. But he's not doing this. He's only got 2 generators. And he's going for a fast ranger. Whereas Boogie has got the fast shotguns, which will allow the scouts to really put the pressure on the Dire Avengers. Unfortunately, they were a bit slow in engaging, and they were out of cover, so they've lost a model already, which will turn things and probably make them lose this fight. Well, especially with the Warlock flanking from the side. Meanwhile, the Tech Marine is doing his job. He's got a bunch of XP from killing those Dire Avengers. Since no one else actually damaged the Dire Avengers, he got the full 100% of the XP. He's capping up that side of the map. Boogie definitely has the superior map control at the moment, but that would be expected after all. He did go for a more conventional tier 1, whereas Oceans has obviously tried to get power up quite quickly, and it's working to an extent. He's getting the shuriken out now. I wonder if Oceans is very paranoid or has bad experience dealing with the scouts when he gets the shuriken. I can see that, because normally you would rush a shuriken first, right? I imagine that he's got the rangers beforehand because he's worried that the scouts will just get a sergeant, possibly the infiltration with it, and end up bombing the shuriken and wiping it very early on. If you get the rangers, that would mitigate the chance of that. Are we going to see ASM? Not something that you typically get with the Tech Marine, but in this instance it could be very useful. There's no Banshees, you know, so he'd be relying completely on the Warlock to counter-initiate them. We are going to see ASM. So most of Boogie's army is forced off for the moment. He's only just getting his 2nd gen up now, which makes sense. He's going for the ASM. They're 500. They're 450. I'm not playing retail Torpid. They're 450 rec. See the first Dire Avenger upgrade. What about the other one? Okay, we've got both Dire Avenger upgrades at the moment. Default scouts over here capping, as they should be. And we've only got the shotgun scouts. No sergeant. I actually was watching a lot of Boss recently, and he very, very rarely gets the scout sergeant. And when he does get it, it's only against races that have pretty poor range damage, like other Space Marines and that kind of thing. And one thing I noticed was that his upkeep was so much lower because he didn't get that Scout Sergeant. That's definitely something that I'm going to have to watch in future, because it really shocks me how much lower it was. It's hard to enunciate that without showing you the exact game footage. That'll definitely be something I'll have to cover in the future. So yeah, watch out for that. Builds that get the shotgun scouts, but don't bother with the sergeant, or try and avoid getting the sergeant for as long as possible. Tech Marine over here ends up getting forced off and breaks a tree trunk in doing so. Quite an amazing spine that this Tech Marine has. And garrison abuse to the maximum. Bit late on the jump here. Could have got the wipe if he jumped a little bit earlier. To be honest, he might have got the wipe if he just moved to the right instead. And we do see the merciless Witchblade, which I guess was a given really, because he needs something to try and counter-initiate these ASM. Scouts here obviously don't want to pick a fight with the Dire Avengers, even if they didn't have the upgrade, so they're going to back off and try and decap the centre. Probably was a bit of a misplay there. He should have gone to the natural VP. It was quite predictable that something would have gone down here from Oceans, given that he had the vast majority of army in this left-hand side of the map. As always, Eldar not trying to bash. They don't really have very good bashing potential. They're just maximising their map control for the time being. Oh, nice use of Hollow Field here to bait in the scouts, potentially bleed a model. Does bleed a model. Might even get the second. No, it doesn't look like they will. And nice shotgun blast into the Tech Marine fire is leaving the Shuriken very dangerous. In very dangerous situation. But they do get out. The ASM again a little bit slow on the jump there. He should have preempted that the Shuriken would want to retreat and just jumped in as soon as possible to try and get that retreat wipe. But the tankiness of the Space Marines is going to prevail. Well, at least over the Eldar infantry. Maybe the Warlock has something to say about this. All depend on whether or not he can proc one of those really powerful Merciless Witchblade specials. Unfortunately, he can't, and he needs to get out of there. ASM not even losing a model. We have a Flamer on the Tactical Space Marines as well. This could be a prime opportunity to get in quickly and get maybe one gem bash. He's going to play it safe, though, I guess, with the low HP of the ASM, the fact that they've not got enough energy for another jump. It is a bit safer just to go for this node here. And Boogy's actually dropped a 4th generator. That's quite wise. He had a nice wreck float. Still, dropping down a tactical marine in a drop pod and getting Sternguard in tier 2 could be quite powerful. But, well, he's gone for the generator for now. He can still go for the drop pod option, I suppose. What's the economies looking like here? So Oceans is actually quite lacking in requisition compared to... Sorry, he's gone excess of requisition. He's lacking in power compared to his requisition, so we might see him going for something like the Warp Spider squad. I would recommend that. That would balance out his economy quite nicely. Warp Spiders are nice on this map, you know. You can send them down the peripheries and harass the scouts, kill them in a few seconds. Of course, you don't want to be trading fire with tactical marines. The heavy infantry army and the durability of the tax is going to bleed your Warp Spiders quite considerably. Would not be surprised to see a Dreadnought. Yeah, here we go. Classic Tech Marine. He's always going to do well with a Dreadnought. Probably go straight for an Assault Cannon, if I'm honest. Doesn't need the melee form because there's no Banshees on the field. And the Assault Cannon will make short work of more or less everything, including the Warlock with his Witchblade. Oceans is floating extremely. What's he doing? He's got the Webway Gate, the first of many to come, I suppose. No more red for any others. Very surprised that the ASM are still on the field here. They really... Oh dear. I was going to say, they really need to get out or they're going to lose a model to the Rangers. The fact that they can jump in with so few models is a testament to the lack of Banshees. It's quite insane. Scouts should just disengage from that. They should know there's going to be a Shuriken in the centre. That was a bit sloppy. A nice grenade on retreat. Oh, Oceans has spotted it. Spotted the opportunity. It's going to be difficult. The scouts have been moving for a while, and scouts move fast. It was a bloody good grenade, to be honest. If it was slightly more to the left, that would have been a squad wipe. Nice attempt. But these Dire Avengers need to get their X-Arcs as soon as possible because they're so vulnerable without them. Once they get the X-Arc, they become quite tanky. They go from a squad that just bleeds as soon as they start getting shot at to a squad that really is quite useful as a baseline ranged combatant. I'm not sure about this use of the tactical marines on the left-hand side here. Isolated on their own and away from the garrisons. I suppose this garrison is a pain for him to deal with, but the scouts should be able to handle these two. I'd rather him go down this side with attack marines so that if he ever gets the opportunity, he can move forward and just get a cheeky little gem bash, and he can, even if you don't get the gem bash, you can threaten the gem bash, and then that forces him to send some of his more powerful units like the Warlock down this side. And the Warlock alone, well, you just put the tactical marines in the garrison. And then he has to send the Rangers, or he has to send Dire Avengers to try and grenade them. So you end up forcing him to commit a lot of army down this side. And then you can send the rest of the army to cap up the entire map elsewhere. So we finally see the Sergeant upgrade. I like this. I like this play of only getting shotguns in tier 1. Get the Sergeant late on when you need it to compete with the enemy range squads. I do dislike the lack of Exarchs here on the Dire Avengers. I think they're crucial to the scaling, and at only 15 power and roughly 80 requisition, they're a bit of a bargain, really. Oh, the Warlock's going to go down here. He's too busy focusing on trying to kill the Tactical Marines. Will he get some models with a grenade? No, that's a whiffed grenade. Little bit too early. Yeah. Feck indeed, Oceans. Who really wanted that grenade. And it cost him the Warlock. But he's got Warp Spiders, and his economy, quite frankly, is booming. He's not been bleeding a lot, and he has less... Yeah, he has less upkeep. Boogy actually has an extra requisition point, but due to the upkeep of the Space Marines, as you can see, he's actually got lower requisition income. So they're going to trade Melter Bomb and Haywire Grenade. I'm not sure about jumping the Warp Spiders. I suppose it's a more economic choice. It's just, if he was in this position, he wouldn't have known that the Shuriken wasn't upgraded to a Bright Lance. Oh god, 2 ASM models. That's quite brutal. Rangers are capping on the side. Really, really think that he needs to get the Exarchs. I'm not sure about this at all. Blessing of the Omnissiah has gone down. Needs to turn around and kill the Dire Avengers. This is extremely risky by Oceans. They could die so fast. Is he getting the Bright Lance yet? Nope. Just kill the Dire Avengers, man. Oh, he's got a Bright Lance on the Wraith Lord. Okay. Oh, that's vicious. There's a serious lack of AV here. He did get the Orbs of the Omnissiah earlier, but he seems to have missed it. Oh god, the Haywire's already off cooldown. That does not bode well for the Dreadnought. It's probably just going to escape, thanks to the repairs. Maybe a nice orb. Come on, Tech Marine. Get your orb down. Oh, he did. He got it. Nice. Nice little combo there to save the Dread. Melter Bomb into the Orbs of the Omnissiah. Unfortunately for Boogy, though, Oceans is already going tech free. Oh, wow. He's going tech free as well. Even though he is a unit down, it's going to be hard for him to maintain the map control. As you can see, he has lost the entirety of the map at this point. Well, he's only got this requisition here. Gate smash. No, there actually have been no gate usage. There's only the one in the base. There's none been outside of it. It's really, really irritating me, the lack of the Exarchs on these Dire Avengers. They are bleeding so much. And if only he had the Exarchs, it wouldn't be happening. Rangers bleed a couple of models. That Mastercrafted Bolter is so powerful against the Eldar. Wait, so he's got 2 fully upgraded scout squads at this point. Looking at the VPs, Boogy is in a rough situation. A rough situation. But we all know the Eldar tier 3 compared to the Space Marine tier 3. Who does that advantage? Very much advantages the Space Marines. And as great as these Warp Spiders are against Scouts and ASM, not going to be very good when Terminators hit the field. The turret dropped in mid. I'm not sure about the positioning here, if I'm honest with you. It seems a bit aggressive to me. This flank on the right, very easy to accomplish. How are you going to cover this ground as the Space Marine? It's going to be very difficult, so I'd rather have it positioned here. And you still cover your left-hand flank, but you cover all of this area, so the enemy has to come down this side. Okay, looking at missiles, missile turret, let's see how much damage this does. That was a solid 320 damage. Pretty nuts. I guess it's 160 missile damage per missile. It shoots 2 at once. There's been a lot of talk about that recently on the Balance Discord because of its accuracy against infantry, as we can see. Yep, it is sniping Dire Avengers. which is super powerful, but the Bright Lance is going to outrange it. He just needs to get sight, get those rangers back down here and have them infiltrated. A little bit too aggressive, I think, on the turret placement. Interesting choice, though, to get that when you're in tier 3, you know? Seer Council. Very interesting choice to get the Seer Council, given that the Dreadnought's in melee form still. I would probably just get a Fire Prism, because the Fire Prism can deal with pretty much anything. If well microed, it can deal with the Predator. Of course, he doesn't know that a Predator's coming. Maybe if he knew that, he wouldn't get a Seer Council. And I mean, by all rights, if he knew the Predator was coming, he shouldn't get a Seer Council. The Predator's going to counter them pretty well. And I can foresee the comeback here. I can see how it's going to work. With the combination of the Melter and the Orbs, the Omnissiah, a potential Dreadnought that's going to get upgraded after it kills the Wraithlord with the Predator's assistance. Then Oceans has a lot of that tier 2 Eldar infantry that just doesn't scale into tier 3 that well because it bleeds your economy so much, and they're just not that good against Terminators. Seer Council do get the jump on the ASM here. If you can manage to wipe the ASM, well, they've still got a jump, so they're going to live. But they do lose 2 models, so that's harming Boogy's economy. He's nowhere near another squad, but he doesn't need it. He's already got the Predator. Doesn't need another squad. Models are bleeding off the Warp Spiders. The Dreadnought's going to the left to deal with the Seer Council. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He actually catches the Wraithlord with the Orbs of the Omnissiah, and it cannot remain chasing the Predator, but it does have the Wraithbone, so it just pops that ability. The Predator's not really bothered. But the Predator has the advantage of speed. It can back off from a fight that the Wraithlord simply cannot. Seer Council are a bit too fast, and they've actually managed to get around the Dreadnought, but a swift shotgun blast from the Scouts amends that situation. Still in the Bright Lance range. He's going to lose it here. He needs to... Oh, he's using the blessing of the Omnissiah. It's actually wiping the Bright Lance. Okay, so there's now... The only threat to the Predator is the Wraithlord with his shoulder-mounted Bright Lance, and the Warlock goes down as well. And this is the problem I was talking about earlier, where the Predator can choose to disengage at any point from the Wraithlord if it doesn't like that fight, because it has the speed to do so. In contrast, the Wraithlord just has to waddle along back to base with its tail between its legs, as we can see here. Its metaphorical tail and its literal tail between its legs as it waddles back home. But it does have a nice passive regen, and the Dire Avengers are sticking around it, so it'll be back in action soon. But Oceans really needs to get a Fire Prism, I think. He needs to get that Fire Prism so that he can take pot shots at the Predator from afar. He can tank the ranged attacks with the Wraithlord, which is a lot more durable, and has that Wraithbone, and he has the double Dire Avenger support as well. Whilst the Fire Prism is behind it, taking pot shots at the Predator, he can deal with it that way. But we do see the Dark Age of technology coming up for the Dreadnought. It needs support, though. To be honest, it might be worth getting the last cannon, just because of how durable this damn Wraithlord is. It doesn't matter, though. It's going to go down at this point. It can't get out of there quick enough. Real overextension. Oceans should have known that the Predator would be inbound. And he did need that Wraithlord, I feel. It's possible with all the gates shenanigans that he's going to be able to pull this out of the bag regardless, but he definitely has the inferior army at this point. What level are the ASM? Okay, well, they're level 2, nearly level 3. I was going to say maybe we want to see a few Vanguard veterans. They'd give the Seer Council a bit of a better fight, but if they're nearly level 3, it's probably not worth it. Besides, the loss of the Melter Bomb would be quite huge in this matchup in particular. The Melter Bomb, very useful in combination with the Predator to hunt down Fire Prisms. I'm surprised we don't see an armor for the Tech Marine. I think the Artificer armor would be quite nice to drop some mines. The Rangers can't be in all parts of the map at once. Improves his tankiness, improves his regen as well. Of course, the Signum armor would also be good. Drop the mark target on the Seer Council and they're going to get shredded very quickly. Quite nice that he actually decided to keep the melee Dreadnought.
It's really going to neuter these Seer Council. I mean, they're just getting the classic Space Marine knockback spam. Knocked back by a shotgun blast, ASM jump in, knock you forward, then you get stunned by the Emperor's Fist, knocks you backwards again. Not really too much they can do here. Fortunately not losing any models, but they're going to be in base for a while. Tech Marine gets sniped by the Warp Spiders, but all the... This looks like a dead Dire Avenger squad. No, the Tactical Marines didn't focus. The Dreadnought's going to go in. Oh, that's annoying. One more shot and he would have killed that Predator. But a wise choice to disengage, so the Dreadnought probably would have ended up killing it, while the Predator might have just been able to get away in time. Very annoying though from Ocean's perspective. Okay, he's going for a little haywire. But the Dreadnought's just so tanky now. It's level 3 with the Dark Age of Technology, which alone increases its HP by 300. It's rocking 1,752 maximum HP at the moment. Oceans recognizes that his army is a little bit inferior at the moment, but it doesn't really matter because the VPs are so low, so he's going for the VP cap. Rangers rushing the central VP. He already owns the left-hand one thanks to his Gates shenanigans, and the Warp Spiders go for the right-hand one. We're now looking at a no-cap game. What the Seer Council are doing? Okay, they're back at base. They've got full health. Really, I think they should just go into the gate and come out down here and pressure this side again. What's just gone down? He's lost the Fire Prism. What was he doing? He was chasing after the Dreadnought, but of course the Predator just comes up. It's got more HP than the Fire Prism. It's going to beat it in a 1v1 situation. And just like with the Wraith Lord, it's not fast enough to escape. So once it commits to a close range fight against the Predator, it better win. Oh, he actually fucked himself up there, did Boogy. He shotgun blasted and then used the Emperor's Fist, but the shotgun blast knocked the Seer Council out of range. But it doesn't really matter because he's got just overwhelming firepower now. Let's look at the levels. He's got maxed out Tactical Marines, though he doesn't have the Sergeant. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. They're mostly there for the capping at this point with a plus 50% capping speed. He's got level 3 on both of his fully upgraded scouts. He's got... What is he doing here, Oceans? He's deploying Warp Spiders next to Assault Space Marines. Did he try and deploy the Seer Council? Oh my god, I don't know what this is. He's losing all of his repair support. Oh, that's fortunate. 6 HP. He would have had no repair support otherwise. Warp Spiders are going to get jumped. They have to retreat. They're going to bleed more models. Oh wow, they didn't. That is very fortunate. 140 HP in 4 models. Bolt Pistols not going to be enough to get any squad wipes here. A bit unfortunate. They need to upgrade them. Level 4 ASM at this point. 2,100 HP.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. We had a bit of a cut in the cast here because Steam kicked me out. And I actually forgot that I needed to reload this replay and finish the damn cast. So I'm doing this way after the initial casting, but there you go. So where was I? I remember that Ocean's overextended his Fire Prism down here. Caused serious problems for himself in doing that because now he has no real AV to take out the combined threat of the Dreadnought and the Predator that Boogeyman has, and while he does have the significant VP advantage, utilizing webway gates on a map like Greentooth Gorge, he doesn't really have much of a combat force at the moment. The ASM are up here. They just took out the webway gate on the left-hand side, and the only thing that came out was ranged units. So they're going to get forced off quite badly. And Boogeyman at this point, all it seems like he needs to do is sit on the VPs. Now, as I say, there's another... Well, the Fire Prism is coming. That can potentially put some sort of dent into the Dreadnought on the Predator. It's probably not going to be enough. Let's be real. Let's look at this. We've got a level 2 Predator with the extra armor, 970 HP. We've got a level 3 Dreadnought that's a slither of XP away from being level 4 with the Dark Age of Technology, nearly 1,800 vehicle armor. I mean, this thing is basically a Swarm Lord right here. It ain't dying anytime soon. And then you've got the Tech Marine, double scouts, and the potential repair from the blessing of the Omnissiah. Does have this gate still, and he's going to get a sneaky backcap with the Warlock coming in from the rear side. But it is a triple cap to the Boogeyman, and that massive VP lead that Ocean's had is very quickly wearing down. I imagine if he can manage to snipe one of these vehicles in this upcoming engagement, which honestly is going to be very difficult. He doesn't have much burst AV. His AV is just the Fire Prism and the Haywire. It's going to take a lot of shots to kill a Predator or a Dreadnought. I believe the Prism does about 150 to 180 damage per shot to vehicles with its focus Warp Blast. So you're looking at, in addition to the Haywire, you're still looking at what, like 6, 7 shots it's going to take? Yeah, look at that, man. It's just not enough. Look at the repair support that Boogie's got. He has actually conceded the natural VP here, and he's pulled his forces back, but he knows all he has to do is secure 2 VPs and slowly win this game just by bleeding out Ocean's last few hundred VPs. Tax needs to try and just go looking for webways. What's the pop looking like for Boogeyman? Yeah, he's basically maxed out on pop. If I was him, I'd get a beacon up around this location. I think that'd be very beneficial. The Prism is doing its job. Oh, this looks like the snipe that he needs. Unfortunately, couldn't get the rear armor hit with the Haywire. Rear armor hit with the Fire Prism. In fact, the Seer Council themselves are going to kill the Prism. Are going to kill the Predator. Never mind the Prism. Now they can leap onto the Tax and force them off. And now they just... Oh. Boogeyman might have even done that intentionally. I'm not even sure. Maybe not, but either way, Terminators are now here. Okay, well the Seer Council needs to get on the Terminators as soon as possible. This is a massive overextension. I don't know what he's doing. The poor Warp Spiders are going to melt in seconds. As you can see, they just get gibbed by the Storm Bolters on them. Over on the left-hand side, the Warlock is tanking the ASM using Providence. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the Wishblade of Kurnos, so he's going to fall because he doesn't have any abilities to get rid of the ASM, and they're just going to recap that point. Ocean's completely forgot about his Seer Council in all of the panic of it, realizing how dire the situation is now due to his lack of military, and that means they weren't tying up the Terminators, which are now very healthy, getting that insane regen that only the Space Marine Terminator variants can get. They've also equipped themselves with Cyclone missile launchers, so all they need to do is teleport somewhat close to the Fire Prism, use a barrage from that Cyclone missile launcher, and the Fire Prism is going to be obliterated in a single ability. Oceans is trying his best to get a sufficient amount of AV on the field to deal with this bloody Dreadnought that's now level 4 and has over 1,800 HP. I mean, that's just insane. As I say, this is basically a Swarm Lord right here, with an AoE stun ability as well. But the problem is, now he's got 2 Fire Prisms. Okay, that's going to kill the Dreadnought quicker, but how the hell are you going to kill these Terminators? He's used every last ounce of requisition to fully reinforce the Seer Council, but unfortunately I just don't think it's going to be enough. He doesn't have enough units right now to contest triple victory points. And it's going down so fast, he needs to cap urgently. Here comes the Cyclone Missile Barrage. Nearly snipes that Fire Prism, and it wasn't even a direct hit. It's only got 15 HP left. It sufficiently deters them, which in addition to the Dreadnought is going to mean that they can't cap the central VP. He's getting his natural VP back, but he doesn't have a lot of time at this point. Sending the Seer Council down to Boogie's natural is a wise decision. They're going to make easy work of the Tactical Marines. The Merciless Strike mostly misses as well, but they can't even finish the fight. The Scouts are using Shotgun Blast and knock the Dire Avengers off here, combo it into a grenade as well, just to add insult to the injury. And that's it, it's over. What a comeback for the Boogeyman. The power of the Tech Marine synergy with his vehicles. It was too much. And then the combination of the SM Tier 3 when they go for the Predator and you invest in all the AV to try and counter them, especially with the Tech Marine. You need a lot of AV to kill his damn Predators. That thing nearly has 1,000 HP, and it's a lot quicker than a Lehman Russ, and he can repair it with the Global Blessing of the Omnissiah as well. So you go all in with your AV, like, come on, he's got a Dreadnought, he's got a Predator, I need to take this out. And then you kill the Predator, and he drops Terminators with their insane regen and their massive damage from their bolters. It's a hard one too. I feel like to beat the Space Marines, you gotta get them before it gets to Tier 3. If the game's dragging on in Tier 3, this is what happens. This is what happens. It's always going to favour the Space Marine the longer it goes. And this game, I think, was a perfect example of that. Very well played to Boogeyman, though. He kept his cool, he didn't panic, and it was quite clear when Ocean's seen, hang on, even in spite of my 300 VP lead, this might not go how I planned it. He lost his head, started getting tilted, he lost that Fire Prism in the centre. I think that was a major deciding factor in this battle when he overextended it. In one of the engagements, the Wraith Lord was here trying to chase down the Predator, and for some reason it turned and fled, even though there was a Bright Lance at the side. So he had it in enfilade, and he would have got rear shots on the Predator if it chased the Wraith Lord. If the Predator tried to back off, the Wraith Lord would have gotten enough damage. I don't know, man. Ocean's lost his cool, he panicked. And that loses you games in Dawn of War 2. Loses you games. But I hope this was an enjoyable cast. I always like to see a nice comeback. Got another one of these on this very map. I guess this map is very good for comebacks. I think it is quite easy to camp around the centre here or here and protect both your VPs. So it does make quite a nice comeback map. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this cast then. We'll try and get these up on a more regular basis now that the Elite League games are all finished. It's going to be casts every Thursday night or Friday morning. That's when they're going to be uploaded. And with that, I'm done. So, thank you very much for watching. Torpid out.